right, hey everybody. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day today, wonderful week. On today's video, y'all, we're going to talk about load securement for a skid steer and a tandem dual axle gooseneck trailer. I'm going to show you how to load it and tie it down. Proper load securement, y'all, is important. If you were to consider like your family going down the road, your wife, your kids, your husband and whatnot, and one of these skid steers, I mean, this is a 14,000 pound machine, and if it were to fall off of this trailer here, it could kill somebody, so proper load securement is important. We're going to talk a little bit about how to tie it down, load it on the trailer, give you a couple tips. The first tip that I'm going to tell you all about is setting this is an electric brake trailer. It's got a brake controller, in my pickup. And the first thing I want to do, y'all, is I want to put the truck in neutral. And I'm going to set the emergency brake in the truck. And I've got a paper clip, I'm going to show y'all, that I set my trailer brakes with. And then that way, whenever the machine comes up on the trailer and it starts doing all that rocking and mess, it won't bust your parking gear in the truck. Because, y'all, if you got a big enough machine and an automatic transmission and you got it in park with no emergency brake set or nothing like that, you could run the risk of busting your parking gear. So let's get right to it, and I'm going to show y'all what's up. Okay, so the first thing that I do, I keep a paper clip right up here on my visor. So I'm just going to get that paper clip, and then right down here is my brake controller. I'll just stick it right there on that, like that, okay? All right, now I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to set the emergency brake. All right, now I'm going to get up in the truck. Let's move that mount. All right, I'm going to put it in neutral. Okay. All right, we'll scroll through all these messages here, and y'all don't mind my nasty truck. Okay, so we've got the emergency brake set, transmission is in neutral, and we've got trailer brake set. Now, I've got 3 implements that's got to go with the skid steer to the next log job, okay? We've got this grapple, and then sitting over here behind us, we've got a bucket and also a set of pallet forks, okay? That's all I have to move on my jobs. I like to be strategic because I want to take them all and not have to do a whole lot of extra tying down. Now, y'all, my videos didn't work out nothing like I wanted them to. Sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. But anyway, what I'm doing first here is getting my binder chains and binders laid out on the trailer. And then I'm just going to kind of hang them up where they go. And then after I get them laid out, I'll come back and tighten everything up. All right, now I've got them, I've got all the chains, on it, and kind of tighten them up by hand just very loosely. And if you ain't careful, if you don't hold the eyelet toward the machine where the chain hooks, it'll spin on you. So what I do is I get me a hitch pin out of the back of my pickup, and I hold it with a hitch pin while I tighten the binder down. Now, some binders are bad about this, and some of them ain't quite so bad. But hopefully you can make out here, maybe when I go around to the other side, you can see me sticking the hitch pin in. I really wish my cameras would have worked out better so you could see what I'm doing. But see how I'm holding that hitch pin with my left hand and then tightening with my right hand? And that just keeps that eyelet toward the machine from rotating while you tighten it down. All right, now y'all, I got this thing bound down. My camera's been giving me trouble. That's just problems when you got that many cameras. It's hard to remember which one you turned on and off. And anyway, I ain't the best with that, but I'll get better. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. I'm gonna walk you around this thing and show you the tie downs and kind of give you a little technical information right quick, and then we're gonna hit the road. Okay, I wanted to show you the difference in a direct and indirect tie down. Now, the machine has got 4 corners tied down. In other words, it comes from a corner to the trailer, from a corner to the trailer, okay? Now you've got the bucket here, the boom. It's chained to the trailer, goes all the way across, chains to the trailer, okay? This is what I believe is an indirect tie down. This is a direct tie down, okay? Indirect here, direct here. And if I got them backwards, I'll look it up to be sure, to make sure I'm telling you right. And I'll put the definitions up here on the screen. But with these type tie downs, the ones that goes across and over to the other side versus these, okay, these type tie downs here, you get 100% of your working load limit on the chain and binder, okay? On these type tie downs where it's just from the machine to the rub rail, you only get 50%. So you got to have enough chain and binder on all 4 corners to cover the weight of the machine. All right, y'all, now I want to interject here just for a moment because I want to make sure that I cover all the bases on this load securement. So I've got some notes here. I'm going to put this up on the screen where y'all can see it. But one thing we need to talk about is on the skid steer, we got to have 4 points of attachments, 1 chain on each corner. We've already discussed direct and indirect securement. Okay, so on the skid steer, it's got 4 points of contact. They're all considered direct, and in that case, you got to cover your working load limit of your chain, your value of your chain, which in this case is a 5/16 inch grade 70, is 4,700 pounds. Now you got to take the weakest link out of your binders and chains. My binders are 5,600. That's what they're rated for. My chain is rated for 4,700, 5/16 inch grade 70. Okay, so the lesser of the two is the chain, which is 4,700 pounds. And on a direct tie down, you're allowed 50% of that. So, okay, on the skid steer, tying that machine down, machine over 10,000 pounds with 4 corners using direct methods, you've got to cover half of what that machine weighs. In this case, the skid steer, it weighs 14,000 pounds, okay? Pretty close. Actually, it's a little less than that, but we round up to 14,000. So we got to cover half of that, which is 7,000 pounds. Now, if we've got 4 5/16" chains, grade 70, that's going to account for 18,800 pounds. But now that's all of them added together at full capacity. But since we're using a direct tie-down method, we only get half of that, which is 9,400 pounds. But again, we've only got to cover half of what the skid steer weighs. So if it's 14,000, we got to cover 7. We got 9,400 pounds of working load limit for those 4 binders, okay? Now on the implements weigh roughly 1,500 pounds, give or take just a little bit. All right, we're using 1/4 inch grade 70 chain. Our 1/4 inch grade 70 chain is rated for 3,150 pounds, okay? And our binder is rated for the same, okay? And on these implements, remember, we were going from the frame over the implement and back to the frame. So we get 100% of our working load limit value of our chains and binders, okay? And on our 1/4 inch chain, our total value is 3,150 pounds. And our implement only weighs 1,500, okay? So we're well over what we need for those implements because of the indirect tie-down method. And then on the skid steer, again, I want to drive this home to you. We got to cover half of what that skid steer weighs, 7,000 pounds. All right. We only get 50% of what the 5/16" chains are rated at. They're rated at 18,800 pounds all total. That's 4,700 times 4. Okay. Then you got 18,800 pounds total. Divide that in half. That's 9,400 pounds. We got to cover 7. So 9,400 pounds is over 7,000 pounds. So we got this load secure, y'all. But anyway, I'm not trying to sound like I know it all, y'all, because I don't. I've hauled a lot of equipment over the years and had to tie a lot of stuff down. I've learned a lot, you know, so I'm just trying to help some of you that, you know, may not quite know exactly the right way to do it. And I'm not saying my way is the best way, but it is legal. So you can give me that much anyway, at least. But look, let's hit the road and get out of here. We got to get on to the house. I got to get this log job, everything moved over to the next job so we can keep the wood moving. We're done with the finished work here other than just planting some grass and running a disc, but y'all, it's been raining so much, I hadn't had time to do anything. So anyway, let's get moving. Now y'all, right up here in the road where we've been going out at, there was an old fence road that came across the field, and there was a big old dip in the road. And if you'll see right there ahead of my truck, you'll see like a area where we put some dirt at. And one thing I did before we pulled out of here was I took the skid steer, and Mr. Collins had some field dirt sitting up here in his yard that he wasn't using. So we took some of that field dirt and filled those holes in, you know, to leave it in good shape. Better than we found it when we got here. Now y'all, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm actually going to drop the skid steer off here at the Cat Place in Manchester, Tennessee. I want them to look at my air conditioner for me, and also I replaced a left-hand joystick base here a week or two ago in it. It was causing me some trouble and wouldn't letting my joystick work right, so I replaced the base. And when I replaced it, they told me to bring it in when I got a chance, and they would calibrate it to make sure it was exactly right. So I'm gonna drop it off here and leave it with them for a few days. We're gonna be out of town this coming weekend. We're going to a plowing up in Kentucky. That's the Carrie Burnett plowing I was telling y'all about, and I'll put that up here on the screen so y'all can see it. But I'm gonna get this thing off and get it parked. I mean, as you can see, they've got several things going on here. A lot of rental stuff, and of course back over here at the shop, y'all can see back over there, you know, they've got several things going on. And Jonathan, the service manager here, that's running the service department and whatnot, he told me it'd be a few days before they could get to it, so that's all right. They'll get to it when they can, and you know, we don't need it till next week anyway, so we should be in good shape. And staying in that thing without air conditioner, y'all, is rough. It gets hot in there. Them little windows don't let a whole lot of air in. It's all right on a day like today when it's kind of cool out, but if it's hot any at all, pretty rough. But anyway, look, thank y'all for hanging out and watching the video. If you like this video and you enjoyed it, hit that like button for us. It'll push us further down the road. And if you enjoy what we're doing here on the channel, hey, subscribe. We'd be glad to have you. And all the new subscribers, hey, welcome here. Make yourself right at home. Glad to have you. Take care of yourself, and as always, I'm going to be praying for you, each and every one of you. If you need me, holler at me. Be glad to talk to you. Y'all take care. Have a good one. I'll see you next time.